Good morning, everyone. I hope you are excited for my next live meet and greet, and that is with Coach Krasno. And thank you for being patient. We had to postpone last week because I was feeling a little under the weather, so I'm happy to do this again. I'm 100% feeling better now. Coach Krasno, she is a dog trainer, and she actually attended one of my classes, my parenting classes. So it's great to see her after all of these years. So I'm going to send her an invite. So welcome everyone, and we will get started. And I invite you to ask any questions throughout our live meet and greets. So let me get her going. All right. Now, it's always a little bit of adjustment here. Okay, trying to find her. Give me 1 second. Oh, there she is. All right. So I sent her an invite. Accept. Hello. Oh my goodness, I love your hair.
Ah, I'm like,
It's
I
been
know,
so long since
so
we've
bright.
seen each other. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being, let me move my little camera here so you can see me in the middle. Thank you so much for being my live meet and greet. I am so excited. And so without further ado, anyone that is joining us today, feel free to put in the chat and we will ask any questions that you have. So tell me about your business and who you are.
Well, hi, thank you so much for having me on. This is an awesome series that you're doing that's highlighting small businesses and owners. So it's really exciting to be here today. My name is Janet Krasno, and I'm a certified professional dog trainer. I'm a business owner of Coach Krasno Dog Training, LLC, mom to two wonderful kids, wife to my husband Joe, and dog mom to three fun dogs.
Yes. I mean, I always love your videos with all of the dogs that you care for and that you trained. So what inspired you to start your business?
Yeah, so just about almost exactly 7 years ago now, I formed my LLC. It was like the spring of 2017. Before that, I was working as an animal control officer for Ventura County. And there I met a volunteer. She was working towards her certification and starting her own dog training business. And we became friends, and she encouraged me to, test for the certification test. And so I studied and I helped her start her business. And as I saw the process, like I just really knew that I also had the knowledge and skills, to help people and dogs in the community as well.
Yes, absolutely. You definitely saw a need, but that's pretty cool how you started with animal control. I'm sure you probably have fun stories. Did you ever well, what was like the most interesting animal you captured or anything that you captured?
So I wasn't a field officer, but there were officers that went out. But I primarily worked in the shelters. There's one in Simi, and then there's one in Camarillo. Um, yeah, it was always interesting when like more like wildlife would come in, like little ducks,
Yeah.
or I have a picture of me with like a duck on my shoulder.
Oh,
And it was always fun with when the puppies and the kittens came in, and we did some fostering with kittens, and um, I had a couple puppies also in foster at one time, so those were always really good experiences.
yeah, and I definitely can notice that you have a love for animals and you have a passion, and you definitely probably saw a need and you're like, I need to offer this to the community. And I'm glad that that person kind of pushed you towards doing that because I mean, I've met you in person and you do have a great energy about you, and that's like so important. So, with that being said, Does energy play a key role when you are helping an individual with their animal? Like, can you share more about that?
Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, so like, our dogs are, you know, sentient beings and energetic beings too. Like, so sometimes we need to be more energetic to like model, like, oh, we can be active. Like, oh, I don't have to be scared of this thing. I can be
Mhm.
calm and confident, and I can explore something new. Or if a dog is acting fearful, the calmer a person acts, like, again, I'm not afraid, like, I can be calm and confident, like, and I can help, you can help transfer, you know the energy that you want the dog to portray,
Mhm.
just by modeling that yourself. And to, like, if the dog's out of control, it doesn't help the situation if we're like, oh, I'm gonna be out of control too.
Right.
So
Yeah, you don't want to like match that energy with the dog. I know, like in my little community, and I've been thinking about you for so long. I'm like, I need to have her on. I need to have her on. So I'm glad that we found the
yeah,
time to do it because in my community, there's a lot of dogs, different size dogs, and I noticed that it's interesting because the friends that I have when they have their dogs, they're not always so wild, like barking and jumping. They're more calm. And I noticed that the friends that I have are calm. That's why I was like
yeah.
curious. So I noticed in the community, like the dogs get so, out of control, like actually kind of walking the owner, it feels
Oh yeah.
like they're like being pulled and everything like that. So, what services, can you provide to help someone feel more confident or have more control of the dog? Because you talked about, you know, someone feeling confident and, kind of like that like, taking charge, sort of speak, right? And, what type of services or what is your process in really helping someone get through it or is something that you do?
Yeah. So my services that we can offer are definitely private one-on-one training, where we, set up a individualized plan just for their dog. Um, and we also, primarily, I do private lessons. And it's all, also for puppies, basic manners, minor behavior modification like that. Reactivity with walking, but also barking, dogs that jump a lot, so again, just trying to work on those, like, arousal behaviors. And, oh, how should we set this up? How do we set the dog up for success? What do we do as the humans to help the dog and help them learn what we want, versus having to punish after they're already being, like, naughty.
Mm-hmm.
um, so there's that private. If anyone's out of my service range for in person, I can do virtual, like Zoom time
Mm-hmm.
training. And there's even a free self-paced online course that I have, and it's at coachkrasno.com, thinkific.com. So again, that Thinkific learning platform has some free information on there. And then my assistant and I, Ashley, she's newly certified. She and I are working on a leash walking course right now
Oh,
that would be
good.
like in person, more of a group class.
Hmm.
Some theory, but a lot of the practical. We want to play some practical games too, that the humans can learn. Like, how do we actually hold the leash that's safe and effective, and what do we need to do with how do we get our dog's attention? Which, when we're out in the wide world, almost just getting their attention is the hardest thing to do, because the dog is distracted by the smells and the sights and the sounds.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. Looks like we have a lot of folks joining us, so welcome, welcome.
Okay.
I just want to just go over some of the messages. I didn't know Coach Krasno was so pretty.
Oh,
Good compliment. She is beautiful. She adopted my cat Hank to me. She was so helpful. Okay, great. I just wanted to address those comments. Um, and so I like how your packages are really flexible, right? That one-on-one and then the virtual, and I like the dog leash training. So do you think that when someone gets a dog, is it important to start when they're a puppy, or can a dog make any changes at any age? Is there like a cap to that?
no, no cap. That kind of old adage, like old dogs learning new tricks, is totally true. Sometimes it's just a matter of like increasing, the reinforcements that we're doing. Like, I don't know if you can see, Zara, keep, yeah, right?
I know. Hi,
Um,
Toby.
so that's my dog Zara. She's the one fussing at me to throw her ball because we're in her play yard. But so again, just like increasing the reinforcements, increasing the value of the reinforcements. So really just finding out, like, if we view our dog as a learner and us as the teacher, the guardian that is, trying to help them, live in our human world. Okay. Getting exciting here.
Dog wanted to say hi. It was like, wait, I was on camera, and so Zara's like, I want to be on camera too.
Like, hey, me too. But yeah, so sometimes it's just figuring out, just again, like, humans are individuals, and finding out what they like, to help motivate learning. We do the same thing with dogs. Do you love the toys the best? Do you love petting? What do you love in the world? Great, we can use anything that they deem, valuable, rewarding, for us to increase that communication and teach them what we want.
Great. I definitely have a few questions that people have emailed me about us today. So one would be regarding at what age should children be able to walk their dog?
That's a great question. So, one of my favorite, sorry,
No, you're okay.
technical difficulties. One of my favorite trainers, her kind of favorite response to any dog training question is, it depends. And again, that kind of applies here because, what size is the dog? How energetic is the dog? The size of the child, like maybe my 10-year-old could handle, a smaller dog, but maybe even my 15-year-old, daughter wouldn't be able to handle my energetic 75-pound lab that pulls, right? So it just, again, kind of depends, and we got to take all those factors into consideration. Again, how easy is it or hard is it to get their attention if we're out and about? If I say, Zara, come here, is they really responsive, or are they just like, I don't hear you, bye? So
Okay. Depends. I like that. I like that. I was like curious. I'm like, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm definitely going to bring it. And then another question that I have are leashes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's always a leash debate.
Oh yeah.
A lot of dog owners will say, my dog will never do that, right?
Yeah.
And then before you know it, they're scratching a kid or they're biting somebody. So do you think, what are your take on leashes? Because some people will say, well, if I'm in my front yard, my dog should be off a leash, but there are leash laws. So kind of want to hear from you about the leash debate.
Again, it's one of those things where it depends, like, is your dog pulling, like, maybe, and wanting to explore, like, maybe a harness is the better option, like a harness than just a 6-foot leash. Some dogs do really well, like, on a longer line where they can explore, and so having more room to move on a 10, 15, or even 20-foot line, helps them be like a little bit less, I don't know, motivated. Like, I gotta pull you hard to this next piece. I gotta pull hard to this next spot because the light. I don't have enough room to move. The human is putting tension on the leash almost unnecessarily. Yeah. So again, there's a lot of considerations for like the human. Just ability or any possible disability. Like, there are hands-free leashes out there. I tend to stay away from the zip line leashes.
The ones that retract?
The retractable leash, yeah. I tend to stay away from those for safety reasons, but I'm a big advocate of like harnesses and like a 10 to 15-foot leash to like let a dog move and have some capacity for decision making for moving. So again, kind of just like children, like the more opportunities they have to make a choice and have that empowerment, it's kind of same thing goes for dogs. The more choices and empowerment they have, kind of the better behaved they can be.
Okay. So your take is that when someone So your take is essentially with the leash that the dog should be on the leash at all times when you're out.
Yeah, ideally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know because that was a lot of questions that I received. We did get a question from our audience. Can my daughter be involved with my dog training, or is it better to have an adult do it?
Absolutely. I love working with families and children. I mean, again, it depends on the age, but I've had children as young as 7 or 8 years old, be able to participate. Zara, even in the dog training activities, and again, like it's a lot of fun bonding for the child and the dog, and even family bonding. I do recommend that adults be there and supervise, and are also the main guardians of the dog, but absolutely children can definitely learn to train, and it's a fun game for both for both the dog and the human.
Absolutely. And then it's kind of like the whole family's on the same page too, right? Like what to expect. And it really sets the child and the parent up for success. So it seems like we have a lot of interest in your services, which I was like, of course, because you're the best. So what's the best way to reach you if they're like, I want to book a training or I want to go to the leash class? Like, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah. So my website, www.ckdogtraining.com is a good way. Facebook messages, Instagram messages, email, and my phone number are all great ways to get in touch.
And so, what's the most rewarding aspect of being an owner, business owner, and working with these cute doggies?
Great question. Yeah, thank you for asking that. I love sharing my knowledge with people who are looking for a different way to like live with their dog, because it's not all obedience and just having a dog comply at the drop of a hat. So there's trust, there's communication from both parties, there's relationship building, there's definitely training games we can play, but my focus is more on the relationship between the humans and the dogs, and just mutual trust, communication, because once we have that, we get a lot of those manners, we get those nice manners, we get impulse control, and we get a decrease in kind of those naughty or inappropriate behaviors we might be seeing. And even more than that, like I love seeing that when humans, take in the information and then make a positive change, with the dogs in their lives. And, so not only for, the dog, but the human too, because then they can get out of the frustration, they can get out of like misunderstandings with their dog.
Yeah, absolutely. I love just your approach and that reassurance because it can be really stressful,
Yeah.
right? When family gets a dog, or just anyone gets, even just a single person getting a dog, we don't ever think about all of the other aspect of being a dog owner,
Yeah.
right? So I'm glad that you provide this space to kind of help provide clarity, like this is what we can do. This is how I can set you up for success, your kids up for success. And I like your approach of having that mutual respect and understanding and also consistency.
Yeah.
Being consistent with what they've learned from you. I know everyone. I know we live in such a fast-paced,
Right.
culture. So when they attend your class, is there like if someone's like, oh, I want to, will I learn everything in 24 hours? Like what would be like the expectation for someone?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely do live in like a fast-paced world, and in a perfect world, we would give all the owners the information, and usually that consultation, like kind of foundation class I do, is about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and in there we basically do a big brain dump of like, this is like all thing dog, but what's nice is it's in a notebook and you get to keep it and reference it. So it is like it just like learning any skill, like training is a skill. It takes time and it takes practice. Same for the dogs. Sometimes we have to teach them how to learn. Teach them, like, oh, good dog. That means something good is coming for them. Yes, you did it right. Like, yes, you did get your body. Okay, right. Release cue. You can go run now. You can go be free. You don't have to sit here and wait for me. So teaching them these skills of how to learn and what the meanings are of what we're saying, because as much as we like to think like dogs don't speak English, They don't understand our English language. So um, dogs are more, behaviorally communicators. So again, but that's great for us because now we can use these hand signals. We can say like wait, stop sign hand, and have that have meaning. We could say down, and I can point to the ground, and that has meaning. So again, just kind of again having the humans learn, like our body is communicating all the time, the dogs are communicating all the time, so how do we understand each other? And that's what I'm going for with the dog training. And again, time and practice, just like any skill.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to bring that up because time is everything, right? It's like we can't expect if we plant, a seed, let's say a pumpkin seed, right? We're like, oh, okay, tomorrow we're gonna have pumpkins, right? So it's about just taking time and just being really consistent and just kind of slowing everything down, like I was mentioning before, we're in a very fast-paced environment. So this can just really help you also be mindful with your dog and just, being more curious. So what is the takeaway that you want our audience to have about your business? Or anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I just want people to enjoy their dog and like find joy in that partnership, like with their dog. Find something positive or funny or good that your dog does, every day, and like just find that appreciation. But I also know that people are out there might be struggling. So if you are struggling or know somebody who is, feel free to reach out or pass this information on to somebody. So I do have an exclusive offer just for your audience today. Um, um, I'm offering a 20% discount off of that in-home, in-person consultation and foundation lesson. So normally it's $150, but for anybody out there or anybody you could share this with and mention this interview, you'll get that $30 savings. And yeah, I've never offered discounts before, but I'm really happy to offer it for your audience.
Wow, what a special treat. Thank you so much for offering that discount. So definitely take advantage of this, folks. And I wouldn't wait. Is there a deadline? Do they have to sign up by the end of this month, or what is the dedeadline?
No real deadline. I mean, just like
Okay.
anybody, if anybody shares this even a month or two later and they go, oh, like, my auntie in Nebraska, we could even do a virtual and,
Okay.
offer you savings on, any of that initial consultation training that we do. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation and just connecting with you. And I see, your doggies. Can we see your space? Are we able to do that?
Yeah, a little bit. Let me see if I can, like, I don't know how. Oh, yeah, I
I
can
know it
put the
wasn't.
camera.
I'm just like curious. I'm like, I want to see. I always see pictures of it, but it'll be great to see your space.
There we go.
Oh,
So,
wonderful! I love it.
yeah, so I've got big double gates there that I can, put some dogs on this side or put them under the patio if I need to, a small dog playtime. And,
Wonderful. I love your space. It's
thanks.
amazing. So thank you so much for sharing your space and your beautiful Zara.
Thanks for having me. It's been really great being on, so thank you for having me.
Yes, so we got a message. You rock, Janet. So thank you all, everyone, for joining us today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach her. Your Instagram handle is Coach Krasno, and you also have Facebook as well.
Correct.
So definitely reach out, and then also just kind of Googling Coach Krasno, because I know sometimes people be like, wait, what was it? But this will be saved on both of our pages.
Great.
And then this will also be shared on YouTube. If someone doesn't have, like you mentioned, maybe a grandma in Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have a social media handle. But this will also be shared on YouTube as well. So I'll also include that exclusive offer. But thank you again. It was lovely
Thank you
to
so
see
much.
you. We
Yeah,
definitely have to have coffee. We have to
that'd be
catch
great.
up.
Catch
But
up.
stay safe, stay well, and I will see you next time, everybody. Take
Awesome.
care.
Thanks, Stephanie.
You're
All right.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.